you. Thank you, Ms. Clark. Allison Samuels. Kristen Thomas. Okay. All right, those are the members. Let's just do a quick round. I just want to make sure I get to know people here as well, because so I see we do have a number of other guests and some board members here as well. I'll start. Fred Baptiste, currently serving as chair of Brooklyn Community Board 9, and I'm serving as temporary chair for this evening's meeting. And it's a pleasure to meet everyone. And anyone can grab the mic.
I'll go. Regina Clark, resident member of Community Board 9 Economic Development Committee, also on the subcommittee City of Yes, but it's happening now. Yeah, been here around 10 years. So, well, in the community. First time person on serving.
Thank you so much, and pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Hi, I'm Lisa Etienne. I am a community resident joining this board committee, and I've been Crown Heights and Community Board 9 member for a really, really, really long time. So, I'm here to provide as much support as I can, help make the neighborhood better.
Thank you. Pleasure to meet you, and thank you for coming. Who else do we have?
Good evening. My name is Khalid Jamaat, Community Associate at Brooklyn Community Board 9. Here to help you during your meeting. Have a good meeting. Thank you.
Thanks very much for everything you do, Khalid.
Hi, this is Felice Robertson, longtime residents of Crown Heights. I was raised here. Been on the community board for about 10 years, and vice chair of transportation. Happy to be here. Hi, Fred.
Hey, how you doing, Felice?
Okay.
Good to see you.
Good.
All right. Kenya, are you there? Are you able to turn your mic?
Yes, I actually thought I clicked it and started speaking. Hi, everyone. My name is Kenya Cummings. I am the program manager for I Am Caribbean. It's a pleasure to be here tonight.
Thank you so much for coming this evening. Okay, and last but not least, Akel?
Hi, everyone. My name is Akel Williams. I guess I serve two capacities. I'm the Director of Community and Culture at Caribbean, and I'm also the district leader for the male district leader for the 43rd Assembly District. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
It's great to see you, Akel. Or great to have you on, I should say.
Likewise, Fred. I'm sorry. I'm busy.
Understood. Okay. All right, then. So we have a very, very stripped down agenda for this evening. Second. Okay, I see we have someone who just joined us as well, and phone number ending in 4042. Could you just introduce yourself? Yeah, if you just joined us with a phone number ending in 4042, could you just introduce yourself very briefly? They may be having microphone issues. Okay, but just going back to our agenda. So it's a pretty straightforward agenda, very quick. One, I wanted to make sure I joined the committee this evening to just say thank you. Thank you very much for your commitment. Thank you for your commitment to this board, to this district, to seeing that the issues with regards to economic development are being heard and addressed, and hopefully we're taking steps towards making it a vibrant district to be in. We want to make sure our district is balanced. So we want to make it a great place to live, a great place to go to school, a great place to work, to have businesses, and hopefully to grow businesses as well. So I really thank everyone for taking the time out and not finding it robbery to join us, and hopefully engage in conversations that will help us make this make that happen in this district. I guess I wanted to begin with the first announcement with respect to the chair. So Max Cohen, unfortunately, he has some work conflicts that are going on, so he's not able to continue on as chair of the Economic Development Committee, which is why I'm stepping in for this evening to at least share this. I wanted to give you that news as well, and also just to publicly thank him for his service in that capacity. So I'm going to be having conversations with respect to making sure that you do have a chair in place for next month. So I don't want anyone to have any concerns with respect to that. In my capacity as board chair, I'm able to chair this meeting. So I just took the opportunity to do this to make sure that we were able to continue to meet, but also to thank you again, and also to recognize, Mr. Cohen for his contribution. So what we will be doing is having a conversation in terms of finding leadership and hopefully being able to continue the conversations that you've already had going on. This is kind of the midpoint year almost for the community board. So we start our meetings, our year starts in September and we go until June. So right about the beginning of the new year is usually a good time for us to kind of pause, just to kind of reflect on what we've done and also kind of get a sense in terms of what the committee wants to do for this. I guess we call it the second half of the year coming up. So this stretch between now and June. So I wanted to make sure that, I assure you that if there are conversations or projects that have been discussed, we want to keep those going. We want to keep that momentum going that you developed. At this time, I guess I'll even open the floor. Is there anything at this point you'd like to share with me, or conversations you've been having that you would like to make sure that, you have support on? Or any major issues you'd like to address? Ms. Clark, I see your hand.
I don't know if it's major, and maybe Lisa could follow up, but we did leave off with some ideas really to, bring awareness to certain resources. We talked the link thing, I forgot what it's called, but leveraging that.
Oh, Link
yeah.
NYC? Okay.
Yeah, so leveraging that to bring awareness to a lot of the things that were going on. And then in the future, potentially leveraging it to help support the local businesses around us. There were other talks as well around leveraging or starting back again not process, but engaging with like financial institutions or just people who are equipped to help businesses with understanding financial stuff. There was a Chase program at one point, but just anything like that to give the education that people need to help support businesses. Of course, there was other talk as well, rents on certain corridors and some other things. It is what it is, but those are things that are, impacting businesses. Vacancy rates. So there was something, I'm actually trying to finalize that spreadsheet, but 147 specific buildings that I was looking at, or openings or establishments on Utica. I want to share it with you, Lisa, because I know we talked a little bit last time, but really just classifying those things, like what type of businesses, how many vacancies, etc., and then really kind of having just a general idea of what exists. And we talked about doing this on the different corridors. So it was Utica. There was also Nostrand. I believe those are some of the major ones for sure to get some insights. Reestablishing the Nostrand. Well, that actually is the association, but starting a new one for Utica potentially. But Lisa, feel free to jump in. But those are some things top of mind that we discussed. But definitely that link thing. And I think we already communicated with there should have been an email that went out to CB9 to kind of start the process and get some understanding of what we could do there.
Okay.
Yes, you're absolutely right, Regina. Everything you said. I did send an email to the district highlighting the information that I received from Link NYC. One, they want you to take some training. They have specific guidelines as to what you can post. They also have a running calendar as to what they usually highlight during certain months. So maybe we can tap into that. We figured that any information that we can provide to the businesses that are here or businesses that want to open here would be helpful because they're there. Might as well utilize them. And for the community board, it looked like it would be no cost or low cost, depending. But for businesses, they also have a plan to help, to promote their businesses as well.
Okay.
So understanding what we can and cannot do in terms of doing this as part of the board, on behalf of the board, would be helpful.
Okay, no, this is fantastic. No, I'm really really excited by the conversations you're having here because I think this is really what we would like to see out of the committee. So with Link NYC, we can definitely follow up with that. So Ms. Etienne, I'll check with the district office to see what we have and get you a follow up with that. Now, my understanding, I don't know exactly how they operate. If it's only city institutions, I know typically I don't think I see commercial things on there. But with that being said, I think you've already asked the question, so let me just confirm what the answer is with that, and see if there's ways that businesses can actually leverage that as well. I think that's a fantastic idea. We do want to make sure that we're able to promote local businesses, and we years ago we had an initiative. We used to do it, Shop Local. There used to be something that was spearheaded through this committee actually, and we always were very heavy into it, especially around that November time frame. So I guess right after they did Black Friday, I guess we did Shop Local. One of the things I would love to see is if we find a way, like a suite of programming where we encourage that on a more consistent basis, where we try and help businesses out, encourage people to be in the district to support the local establishment. So I think that's definitely a great idea. Definitely feel I feel what you're saying with respect to rents on the corridors. Yeah, commercial rents has just been one of those things that is baffling to me in terms of the amounts of money that they ask in terms of the rents. And I've seen, sadly, too many businesses where it's like they stay for a couple of years, and then all of a sudden the rents shoot up astronomically to some ridiculous number where businesses can't afford to stay in the district, which I think is a shame. I think that we lose a lot of the vibrancy of a lot of the mom and pop establishments that we've had over the years. Sadly, we've seen a lot of them go, and I think it's something that we would want to have a larger conversation with the elected officials, especially in terms of what can be done to try and stem the tide on that. And definitely the vacancy rates, as you mentioned before, on the various corridors. There are places that I've seen. I moved into the district 25 years ago. There are places I haven't seen open since I moved in. Like, I remember there was a store there. They closed sometime after that, and that same spot has never opened again. And in some instances, that becomes a blight. I've seen some of these things where they become so dilapidated. I mean, the building inspectors come in and they're dealing with other, and it contributes to other problems, including, vermin and rats and stuff like that. So there should be a way to address that in terms of, okay, well, listen, what's going on here? If you're a building owner, I mean, there might be some conversations that have to be had about, do you just squat on that and nothing happens productive out of there, but, all of a sudden becomes a blight in the district. So absolutely, I'm really encouraged by the conversations, and we need to push these conversations as well. Okay, Ms. Etienne, I see your hand again, and Ms. Clark, and you again as well.
I think Regina had her hand up first.
Yeah, it should be quick. So on the blight
Sure.
thing, I think it is important to address it because it can hurt other businesses. It can hurt residents. What we have around happening over by me, shenanigans. So I don't have the answers or suggestions here, but it is a concern, I think, just for a lot of people. But what I did raise my hand on was forgot to mention the guide. So we did we were shown the guide that used to exist. I can't remember which representative Cunningham now own it, but I can't remember who it was before that.
It might have been Diana. It might have been Diana Richardson.
Diana Richardson.
Yes, I was coming. It was coming. But that had several of the businesses, and what we did speak to, because we wanted to, in a perfect world, to be able to even leverage the link to even support or just help people and share businesses before the holidays. So I worked in retail, corporate retail for over I'm approaching 20 years. And the whole thing is, I think we have to be on top of it for the next big holidays. Definitely want to get involved and have something set up for like the next holiday season for sure. And it should already be something that goes in the calendar with the updates, obviously these little the analysis that everyone's doing in the corridors and outside the corridors, because there's other little streets, but having that assessment and then being able to share it with the community so we actually can shop local, but shop really local, because a lot of these things are quite spread out. So that was the other thing, is just that publication that was created.
No, absolutely. Thank you so much. And I made a note of it too in my notes as well. So, all right. And Ms. Etienne, yes.
Yes, I wanted to mention that as well. I echo Regina. and also about starting a merchants association on the Utica corridor. There is none currently, and I think by starting one, that it would be able to also spur some activity, people taking more pride in their businesses and the communities and the surrounding community, and hopefully can tap into all what I think merchant associations do, because I'm not a business owner, but I think it would be helpful to have one over here.
And those are conversations that we can definitely bring some resources in. We've worked with Impact Brooklyn in the past. They've actually attended. I think it's important for us to have some conversations, especially with certain businesses on the corridor, to find out if there's an interest there or what the barriers are to that. Because I think on Flatbush Avenue we had a conversation. I think part of the Flatbush bid and the Church Avenue bid merged not too long ago. Ironically, it stops like right 1 or 2 blocks into CB9 on Flatbush. So part of the conversation is, okay, well, listen, why would it stop there? What's the interest of the local businesses? And I guess even understanding what the requirements would be in terms of doing that as well. Because it's really interesting, because I don't think we have any of those bids in the district, and I'm interested in knowing what that's for, because I think it's an opportunity to really kind of to promote the local businesses. I'm not sure if some of the rents or the stability is some of the questions there, where depending on what the rents are, some of them may not feel that they have the capacity to make the commitment to saying, oh yeah, we're going to pay for cleaning and street lights and other things of that nature. They might just be hanging on, but it's worth the conversation in terms of seeing what the interest is, and we can bring resources. And again, we have Impact Brooklyn that we can bring along, because they've helped a number of different areas bring bids and merchants associations. So definitely a conversation we could definitely push. Definitely interested in bringing back that business guide in terms of figuring out who's where. I know that the district office, especially in the summertime, we do get resources in terms of the students and interns. So if there's any legwork that needs to be done, we could always start targeting that as well, where that might be a really good time to see if we can get boots on the ground to kind of do, refresh that guide and figure out what the new conditions are on the ground. So I think that's a phenomenal idea.
Hello, I have something to mention. So I Am Caribbean has been doing this type of work, and we recently were granted the Neighborhood 360 grant, and part of that work is district marketing. We've done lighting, seasonal lighting, holiday lighting, summer lighting for Caribbean American Heritage Month. We also have a Little Caribbean Passport that has over 100 businesses in the area where you can eat, shop, and lime. There's a lot of merchants organizing business support that we that we have been doing for a very long time, and more recently with the Neighborhood 360 grant have been able to expand that work.
Okay, that's phenomenal. Thank you very much for that, Ms. Cummings. All right, so and I guess listen, so there's already some groundwork that's already been laid.
So the area that we are in became Little Caribbean in 2017, and we have specifically also been working all throughout the quarter. So Utica Avenue is one, Church Avenue, Nostrand Avenue, Rogers Avenue, that we've been working with different merchants, speaking with them about ways we can help connecting them with small business services, as well as the Brooklyn Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you very much for that. And I appreciate that too as well. I think one of the things that'll be very helpful, and that's the thing, it's I guess gauging what the interest is and making the connections, because I know New York City Small Business Services, they do a ton of things.
We actually did a recent Moby visit Little Caribbean, actually January 3rd. We had the borough president come out, as well as representatives from Rita Joseph's office, as well as Brian Cunningham's office, that were able to come out, and we were able to go one-on-one business support with different businesses in the area, bringing them resources that SBS has to offer for free. Many don't know about that. So that's something that we have done and still also continue to do in the upcoming months. We do plan to do that. We also have upcoming workshops that we'll be doing, a legal clinic, training with different organizations in the area. So this is something else that we are working on. We also, like with Link NYC campaigns, I don't know if you've seen the kiosk, That's something that's a great digital marketing tool for businesses that mostly do not know.
And that's what we were talking. Can I just ask a quick question while she's kind of got the floor? Because I'm on the mailing list. I've seen some stuff. I see you guys have there's a new store. I just want to because now hearing more about Iron Caribbean, just to understand more about the business in general, especially since you have so much impact already. I'm curious of what legs you guys have, just for my own curiosity and seeing how we can even collaborate maybe.
What exactly do you mean by legs?
Sorry. So I've only seen the retailing part, but not the like the community service and support and that sort of stuff. So that's what I'm just trying to understand.
Oh, yeah. So we have like community programming that we have done. So I don't know if you've been with us for Caribbean American Heritage Month. We do community programming, cultural programming, Best of Little Caribbean Awards that we recently held last year in 2023. We were able to highlight 34 businesses in the area and celebrate them. This was also through community voting that people voted for the best of, so best jerk, best storefront, things like that, that we have been able to do. And then the retail side is a part of supporting the businesses that don't have brick and mortars. This is our 7th annual holiday market. We've also done Trees of Little Caribbean at Brooklyn Botanic Garden, as well as Plants of Little Caribbean, where it had signage throughout the Brooklyn Botanic Garden that linked back to different businesses in the area. We've produced over 1,000 events. We recently won the awards for Trees of Little Caribbean. It was the Anthem Award. And electeds came to our events at Brooklyn Botanic Garden, like our Last Lap Fete that we had part 1 and part 2. So it's really exciting and really great to see the community impact, as well as getting elected officials and community members and community engagement up in the area.
Kenya, can I piggyback to Regina's question as well?
Yeah, no problem.
Hi, Regina. Regina, my name is Akel Williams. I'm the Director of Community and Culture at Caribbean, and I guess what you asked sort of like is like always the question. So like there's, I guess you can say in regards to the work that we do, it's sort of like we sit at the we like to say we sit at the intersection of like culture, community, and commerce, right? So the storefront is what you may see. The average person on the street may see us for like some of the events that we do at spaces like the Brooklyn Botanic Gardens, the Prospect Park Boathouse. Like when Kenya mentioned, we did the Best of Little Caribbean Awards, where it was basically like celebrating like some of the merchants. They were mostly like restaurants. They won awards. The Congresswoman's Yvette Clarke's office gave, I think, a citation to the org. There were different electeds that showed up, like council members, Mercedes, Rita Joseph, and some of the, and a few other electeds that stopped in. So, on the back end, the merchant support stuff, it's like the merchants or the store owners, especially along like the Nostrand Avenue corridor, Church Avenue, and now we're also on Utica as well. The merchants are the one, and I think we're like the strongest on Nostrand and Church. The merchants know us in a different capacity. So whether it be like, for example, what was that? I think about a month or two ago, we did something like a business crawl where we had like the grad chapter of Delta Sigma Theta come through to about 6 or 7 different businesses where they basically shop to black, right? So like African Record Center, LeBay Market, a couple of different locations along within the Little Caribbean footprint. And the Little Caribbean footprint is fairly huge. So I guess you can say we don't touch Flatbush Avenue simply because like how you folks mentioned earlier that there's a bid and some other stuff that's going on there. But you're talking about like the corridors that Kenya mentioned, Rogers Avenue, Church Avenue, Nostrand, and Utica Avenue. So like on the back end, the business support looks a little bit different. I guess that work is not as public facing as the the events and the cultural part of it, which is what most folks see online. And in addition, for anything that we do, whether I'm assuming based on you saying And forgive me for us hogging up this much time, but based on you saying like you see the cultural work that we do, one of the things that we're in the process of doing also is like we have a following of over 40 something thousand people that are like very much localized. A lot of those people would be living in the CB9 footprint. It's more like, hey, how can we use our social impact and our following and channels, media channels, to sort of like highlight those businesses to help drive support, because obviously we know a lot of the merchants are suffering badly.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, this is a great conversation. This is a really great way for me to start my year with the board. I think, listen, it's just phenomenal the work that you're doing, and I definitely would love to continue exploring the ways we could work together in partnership. You guys are definitely deeply embedded in the streets, as they say, and I think that I would just definitely want to know and understand what role CB9 can play in that, and in terms of what we can do collaboratively to try and encourage economic development in the district. So I'm absolutely looking forward to further conversations. If there's any places in particular you think we should be focusing, absolutely. I think you have an open ear here. And I guess the other piece of that for me would just be, yeah, I mean, just really looking forward to seeing what places we could actually have that impact. But I thank you for coming to this committee specifically. And definitely, I would love to take opportunities to just leverage the expertise you guys have already got, to being able to share that with people in the district who are, who are just starting their dreams. And I think this is great in terms of an organization like yours who's there and who might be able to help guide them through some of the initial steps in terms of people hopefully taking those steps of entrepreneurship.
Sounds good. Thank you, Fred. We can definitely set up some time to meet with you guys up at CB9 and take it from there.
Perfect. Sounds great. Sounds fantastic. Okay. All right then. So it sounds like I suspected, you guys have got a lot going on here. You're doing a lot. I just wanted to make sure that I just came again just to thank you for all the work that you're doing here and to confirm the commitment to this committee. So we're going to make sure that there is leadership in place. We want to make sure that your agenda, we help you in fulfilling your agenda to the best of our ability as well. And I want you to know that the door is open. If you need me directly, if there's anything I need to do directly, please never hesitate to contact the district office and say we need to speak to Fred about something, and I'll be there. We would definitely want to make sure we push forward. I guess just in terms of some other updates and reports with respect to the board and the district, and just because I'm seeing all the positive energy here, for those of you who are interested in doubling down in terms of your service to the district, the applications are open to be a board member as well. So you can actually apply. You would get those applications from Brooklyn Borough Hall. They're available on their website, and there are two avenues basically you can, to get into to the board. You can apply directly to Borough Hall, and you can be a Borough Hall, what they call a Borough Hall appointee. So about half of the board members, I believe, come from Borough Hall. The other half come from your local your local council members. So you can always reach out to your council district council member and let them know that you're interested. They have a number of slots on the board as well that they make recommendations. So if you're good with one of your local council members, that might be another avenue to pursue as well. Discuss that with them in terms of if they're willing to nominate you for a position on the board. So that process is going to go up until February 19th. Just as a PSA, we are actually going to be doing a Learn About the Board open house. We're having that scheduled. It's scheduled for the 18th, I believe, at this point. So please, I would invite you just to come, even in general, just to learn a little bit more about the board, how we operate. Hopefully see if it answers any questions that you have about how the board operates in general. And if you have any interest, hopefully, it'll give you some answers for that as well. I think one of the other points I just wanted to mention in general, because I'm mentioning this all the. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Quick. The Learn About the Board is January 18th or February 18th?
January 18th. January.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. No, the applications are due February 19th, I believe. So we're scheduled, tentatively, I think we're scheduled right now for January 18th. I would recommend, let me ask this question, just a quick, just let me just shout it out real quick. Is everyone here on the CB9 listserv? Okay, good. Because that's how we get a lot of our news out. So I would just say continue to look at that. A lot of information goes on that. We send out, there's an e-blast that goes out every Friday. a lot of the information that we get from elected officials or from the city or anything, well, we try and include that to go out. And I give you the speech that I give all my board members as well as at the board meetings. We count on you to help get the word out about a lot of these things, because, you know, we don't know where we're not. We don't know what we don't know. So we kind of ask for everyone to serve as ambassadors in terms of, if you get news, especially if it's about some of the resources that are available, to please share those with your networks as well, so that way we can get the word out as best as we can throughout the district. And particularly if you know people who aren't necessarily, you know, on the net like that, where, you know, if there are flyers and things of that nature, or if you know of organizations that we should be in contact with, please feel free to let us know that as well, so that way we can make those connections as well. We want to make sure that we're connecting as best as we can to make sure that people are informed about what's going on in the district. All right. Let me see. So yeah, I think that's the big thing. Those are most of the things that I had to cover for this evening. I just, you know, so I'll just finish off by saying again, thank you so much for everything you're doing. I'm definitely excited about the work that you've done, and I'm here to help you keep it moving. So whatever we can do to help you continue the progress that you're making. So just think about this as we're in the second half. Even more work to do, a lot of work to do, but I'm excited about the agenda that you guys have already put forward, and I think it's going to do so much for this district. So I'll leave the floor open at this point. Are there any questions you have for me? Anything that you need from me? Yes, Ms. Clark.
So on your point about getting the word out, so that was one thing that we wanted to explore with the link, the NYC link, was just, here's a QR code sign, and, you know, sign up for the newsletter so people could sign up themselves. So what we really need help with was just checking those things off the list, because we have a lot of great ideas, but now it's just bringing things into fruition. And that was seeming like a low-hanging fruit of just using it to bring awareness to that email list, the newsletter, so people could sign up as step one, at least.
No, absolutely. Yeah, you know, it's funny because that's one of the things when I first came up as chair that I said I wanted to leverage technology a lot more. And you're right, those QR codes are really helpful. If you have your phone handy, you just flash that, and all of a sudden, boom, it's on your phone. And you can share those links as much as you need to and everything. So I'll talk with the district office team to find out exactly what we can do to expand the use of that link NYC. Okay. Any other questions, thoughts, concerns? Is Khalid treating you guys okay? All right, you let us know. You know, we have a complaint box for him, so, you know, just let us know if anything.
Oh, okay.
He's okay.
So you didn't know about that until now. Okay. All right then. So with that, we're going to give you some of your time back. Again, thanks everyone. Looking forward to it. You'll be getting additional announcements in terms of how we're setting up in terms of leadership on a go-forward basis. But again, if there's any questions or anything I can do with it, always feel free to reach out. Everyone, I hope everyone's having a great, happy, and prosperous New Year so far, and I'm looking forward to even more in 24.
All right, thanks.
Okay. All right. So we stand adjourned. Time is, unless there's any objection, we are going to adjourn. Time is now 7:40 p.m. Everyone have a great evening.
Bye.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone.
Thank you.